Welcome to Mike's Corner. I'm Mike, and this is my corner. On this channel, we talk about money, investing, finances, basic economics, insurance, essentially everything you should have learned about in high school, but didn't. So what did you learn about in high school? Well, you learned that the Magna Carta was signed in 1215, and that helped you how? Maybe when you're on Jeopardy, it'll help you one day, but it doesn't help you out today. Money is something, however, that's a part of our everyday lives. And when we understand money, money works for us. When we don't understand it, we work for money. So what we want to do is take some time and talk about money. Specifically, we want to talk about money and happiness today. Can money make us happy? We learned a long time ago from the song that money can't buy us love. But I'd say the answer to the question is money can make us happy sometimes. To understand this, we want to talk about what happiness is. When we understand happiness, we get a better idea of how we can understand whether money makes us happy. So what is happiness? I've got a definition here that Webster gives us, which is enjoying or characterized by well-being or contentment, feeling pleasure or enjoyment because of your life or situation. That's what happiness is. Now, can money give us that? Again, the short answer, yes, but happiness is both a state and a trait. It's a state of mind, but it's also a trait. You've heard the phrase, oh, look at the happy baby. That's a trait. But it's also a state of being as well that comes from, well, it's going to come from a couple different places. We'll talk about those. We can feel pleasure. We can feel happiness. That's the state. The trait, it's more of a definition of who we are. Happiness can also be internal or external. The internal type happiness is the stuff that, people just exude joy. You might hear that phrase talked about. It's an idea of having meaning. The external happiness is more the idea of, it's a temporal thing. For example, somebody gets a scratch-off ticket and wins $1,000 at the convenience store. That is temporal happiness. That's external happiness. Are they happy? For sure. They're happy for, I don't know, maybe half a day, because they get to retell the story to a bunch of people, and that gives them some happiness. What about when you eat a piece of chocolate cake? Oh, that makes you happy, right? I mean, well, it does for me. It makes you happy. It tastes delicious until you step on the scale later, but that's another story entirely. What about the happiness that's like in your soul that lasts for an extremely long period of time? You get that from chocolate cake? It's got to be really good chocolate cake. I don't think so. Do you get that from the scratch-off ticket? No, that's $1,000. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but $1,000, not enough to make you happy. There's two types of happiness that we find in the world. There's the hedonistic happiness, which is that pleasure is greater than pain. That, it feels good in the moment. Then there's eudaimonic happiness, and that's that happiness that's defined by contentment. Aristotle actually said eudaimonia is the state of doing and living well. Can money make you happy? Sure. But is the way we want to leave that. Now, the bad news about this is your happiness isn't going to last forever. It can't. There's no physical way. Because in order for you to understand what happiness is, you have to experience sadness. There's no tasting sweet without the sour. And that's how it is with happiness. You would think that being continually happy would be a utopia. But it's not true, because that continual happiness over time would end up just being average. And then eventually it would become drudgery. And you would say, my life is miserable because I'm constantly happy. Why? Because you never had sadness to balance it out. Be happy with your unhappiness, because it's in that unhappiness that you actually experience real happiness in life. I'm Mike. This is my corner. We'll talk next time.